Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Trevino Lewis. Just been very motivated and excited to actually start a YouTube channel just because I feel like a lot of great things are happening. I feel like God is moving in our day and age right now. So I just wanted to keep you guys motivated and inspired. You know, there's so much greatness for us to obtain nowadays, especially with the opportunities of social media, with work, with career. Like, I think there's so much negativity in the world in general that there has to be more positive voices telling you that you can do it. That regardless of whatever is in your way, it cannot stop you from your ultimate goal. You know, I was at a corporate event yesterday and we were talking about this mentality of like delayed gratification. And it was like this video that was talking about like how leaders think. How like leaders think like, okay, you're not just like you meet somebody and you're not just like, all right, we achieved love right now. Or like you can't say just like one day, okay, now I'm just in love with my wife. You can't say that. It's the little steps that you take on that cultivates that love, that cultivates the passion that you have for your spouse, for that relationship. Because when it comes to like your goals and your dreams and your aspirations, it's the little things in the process that makes you fall in love for the goal. It's just like if I see that car, like let's say that I really want like a Lucid Air, because I do one day I want to drive a Lucid Air. And let's say I want that car. It is the little things in my career that I will do that stacks up and stacks up and stacks up. But it's not an instantaneous thing, because instant gratification, that kills your goals, that kills your aspiration, that kills the drive. It ignores everything when it comes to the process. You know, there's a quote that I thought about as we were going into like the speech. There's a lot of people talking about like, oh, well, leaders are supposed to do this and this and this. And there was some people who were thinking like leaders are supposed to be selfish and they're not supposed to really care because they're supposed to be the best in the organization or the team. And it made me think, no, usually leaders aren't always the best. Yeah, I get it with some leaders of tribes or like nations, they are the figure, they're the person, they're the head. But a leader inspires. Just like with the story of Rudy. He inspired. Like if you see that movie, he inspired that team. He inspired the people. He had that dream to actually push it to where he wanted to play on the team. He wanted to get some play in the game. And nobody believed in him. And here he is getting that opportunity because he continued to push it every single day. You know, even if he wasn't on the field, he still pushed it every single day, taking the right steps, taking the right steps, taking the right steps. That's why we should see our life like we're gaining XP every single day. And if we stay away from focusing on the result of the day to ultimately determine where your mental state is at, or where your emotions are, or who you are as a person, then we will be able to handle any challenge that comes in our life. Because if you think about it, our lives are controlled by us, by our mindsets. And there's people who literally live life like this, like a wave. One day they're at the top of the world, their best friend is texting them, they see all this money and they check, like they get in everything. The world seems like it's on their side. The next day, they post a picture, they only get one like. Now everybody's texting them. The bills hit, so now they upset, they depressed, they sad, they don't know what to do with themselves. They at work grumpy, upset, complaining. And then the next day, the next picture that they post gets 200 likes. Now they up again. Now they telling everybody how good they are. But then they drop off the next day. And when you have those peaks and valleys, that's really bad for your mental health, especially as a man, because you're supposed to be the foundation for your family, but you can't even control your emotions. So when it comes to the problems and the challenges of life, it's not all going to be easy. Love isn't easy, especially if you're in a relationship. That's literally you two people trying to figure it out. That's not easy. So even with your goals, like every day isn't going to be really awesome and really sweet and everything's going to make sense. You're going to be confused 80% of the time. You're going to be like, is this really worth it? You're going to ask that question 80% of the steps that you take when it comes to pursuing your goals and your dreams and your aspirations. So talking about the person on the wave, they're living life. Oh, I have this high of high, but then I have the low of low. So what do they do when they're experiencing the low of low? They start bringing in drugs, alcohol. They start leaning on sex and things of that nature to bump them back up, to give them a little bit of a cave in. Like they're trying to actually level it out. They're not trying to have such low lows. So what do they start doing? They start relying on those things. Those things in the short term may feel like a good hit, but in the long term, it brings you down. And and you're thinking, oh, now I'm not having such low lows, and now I'm just having great highs and just, okay, I'm feeling all right, but now I'm having great highs. But you're not even realizing your highs are just going down and lower and lower and lower until it crashes you out. And that's instant gratification. And in our lives, like, we cannot be so consumed with the quick hit, like the fast living. Oh my goodness, I want it like this. I want it fast. I want it my way. We can't be living like that. We have to be so independent from what our situations are every single day, that regardless of what life throws at us, we have this foundation where, like, I don't care what happens today, my mindset, I'm gonna get through it. Regardless, I'm gonna get through it. You should literally be living like a straight line. You know, in the book 48 Laws of Power, the last power, not spoiler alert, skip the next 5 seconds if you haven't read that book and you're still trying to look into it. The last law is to be formless, to be like water. That you keep moving. You set the tone for the day. You set the tone for life, regardless of how people perceive you. People can hate you tenfold, but if you, it doesn't matter what they think, because in 5 years, they're not going to be any of your concern. In 10 years, who cares how they felt about you that one day? So don't allow them to ruin your day just because you're so consumed in your own head and your own emotions, because, oh, now people are looking down on me. Oh, no, now. Like, I believe in, if you focus on the fruit and ignore the root, the tree will die. And that philosophy is focused on the delayed gratification, keeping your mindset right so that your life, you're literally living on a steady flow. So regardless of what attacks come in, what tries to knock you off, just like what we were talking about last week, or a couple days ago, actually, when it comes to how we live life, if we are focused on keeping a steady mind, keeping a steady heart, regardless of whatever comes, you can be that foundation for your girl. You can be that foundation for your dreams and your goals and your aspirations. So it's not a surprise when you actually get it, because you were working every single day and you were getting it. But what does instant gratification look like? What does focusing on the fruit look like? What that looks like is taking shortcuts in the process. Taking drugs, smoking, drinking, hitting up friends when you should really be studying. When you should be focusing on your goals, on your dreams. A lot of people nowadays are just too weak to actually take on life. So they fold. They run to social media to tweet about it. They run to Facebook to talk about it. So they see their friends liking it up. Instead of actually addressing the problem, they smoke it out. They smoke it away. So again, just going back to that quote, I also heard Jalen Hurts say something after he won the Super Bowl that I just want to finish up the video talking about. He said something so powerful. He basically was saying, you're either stressing or you're praying. Either way, you can't do both. And what is a prayer? Prayer is sending up your problems to God, to whatever you believe, not worrying about it, because you know now it's in the air. It's done. So there shouldn't be any concern. That's what that is. That's how you should live life. So here, have a great rest of your day. I appreciate you guys tuning into my video. I'm probably only getting like 0 views right now, but I'm just building the foundation. It's an everyday thing. So have a great day, guys.